time for the match that we have often described as the kid versus the kid, as these two like to call each other a kid, even though neither of them are really kids anymore. Reynor, 22 years of age, and so is Clem. Clem, a couple months older than Reynor. I believe Clem's birthday is in April, Reynor is on the 1st of July. They came up around the same time, same era. When they were both 14, 15, they were already very good. When they were 16, Reynor definitely was a little bit ahead of Clem. Clem did some serious catching up over the last few years. And it is safe to say that in his early 20s, Clem truly is hitting his stride and he's playing better than ever before. But these are the matches that will still get a man like Reynor incredibly excited too. If everybody thinks he's going to lose, oh, hopefully we get to see the very, very best of him. Pizza versus croissant. Let's do it. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling these guys that are 22. Reynor versus Clem, a classic in the European scene. Team Liquid is up, 2 lives, 2-1. Here we go, on perhaps the best Zerg map in the map pool. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the Italian stallion, the Basilisk's very own Reynor. Your Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2022 champ and the 2023 champ of Gamers 8. Top right side, the kid that just does not lose. 31 maps in a row, it is ridiculous. Your reigning world champion, the one and only
Liquid Clem.
That guy. Reynor was the last guy to stop him, to make him look mortal, beatable. And we got a little more of that on the one map. That this is the only time probably we get to see this map today. Even though Team Liquid vetoed post-youth, they are technically allowed to pick it, but it's incredibly unlikely that they would pick it. Don't think there's anybody in the team that really loves it. Maybe Elazer, but I don't think Elazer will be playing today. Oh no, this is a big match. I know Reynor has been playing a lot of League this week, but that's just what he likes. That's what he enjoys to do. The kid has put in thousands of hours of Starcraft 2, and playing like 5 ladder games against Cristiano is not suddenly going to make him better in ZVT. He knows what it takes to beat Clem. Hopefully he can bring it. We know that he's going to do his best. He's playing in the Biomorph Stormgate tournament. Yeah, that's happening over the weekend. I know that Roshi and Nate are casting that, and I believe one more, and Bio obviously. Took a little look at some of the clips. They had a long fight. Cool battle with Miasma. Obviously for me this weekend is all about StarCraft. Probably watch a bit more Stormgate in the future. Only have one set of eyes. Skillers might be playing. Their Team Liquid so far has only sent out Cure and Clem. If Clem would lose 2-0 or this would end 1-1, there is a chance they send out Skillers. They can also go for Mana or Elazer. Elazer is unlikely because indeed he's playing Stormgate and he has been playing a lot of Stormgate. Skillers is by far and away the most likely player. Clem's Reaper is in the main base. Reynor is going to make sure that he does not lose any drones. We don't want to give the kid a drone, but he does get a drone. So Clem off to a good start here. Getting a drone kill on post-youth is lovely. Lovely for Clem, not so lovely for Reynor. Not the end of the world, but obviously not the start that you're looking for. Against this Clem, you look for as many things to be flawless for as long as humanly possible. Things going wrong in minute 3 is not ideal. I'm getting more viewers than Black Ops 6 streamers. Is that Call of Duty, mate? That does not mean anything to me. There's still a lot of people out there that enjoy watching StarCraft. There's a crazy large community on YouTube. It's just kind of hard to reach it, but there are plenty of people out there that love watching StarCraft, and I'm very happy that there are still a lot of people that enjoy watching it live on Twitch as well. Skillers has tweeted out about that game, yeah. He said that he's a big fan and that he believes it's the future of RTS. That is something that I've heard quite often over the last few years. The future of RTS. Somehow I feel like I'm going to still be sitting here talking about StarCraft in 2031. People are like, hey Roddy, when do you think StarCraft 3 anytime soon? I'm going to be entering my 50s and I'm like, maybe guys. Reynor with a very quick lair, as Clem is going to make it hard for Reynor to go up to 3 bases. The Reaper micro is good. The Hellions are actually thinking about going for the main, but Reynor does still have 2 more queens here to prevent that. But Clem still wants to get another drone. So far it is 2 drones and a nice little delay on the 3rd base of Reynor. Statfast is mostly in charge of it, Bully. So, we can address it quickly, guys. Monday night, obviously, there is no weekly, as you guys know. A lot of people are panicking over it. But this Monday, there will be a weekly tournament run by Clara, Statfast, and me. All 3 of us put up 133 buckies. Make sure there is Monday night Starcraft for everybody to watch and play. The Monday after that, I'm in Bulgaria, so I can't really do anything. And if we have Monday the 16th appear and there are still no news from ESL, I'll gladly run something again. The promise is that Monday Night Starcraft will continue, and it will be there. I know a lot of people are asking about like fundraisers and GoFundMe, Kickstarters, but it's a bit annoying to set it up right now because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. It is very silly to set all of that up, ask the community for help, and then suddenly ESL could step in again, right? So let's just do it this Monday. It's Kalara, Statfast, and me who will make sure that the players have something to play for, and you guys have something to watch. The Monday after, I am not here. And the Monday after that, I'll guarantee you guys, there will be another Monday night tournament. Maybe I'll do something with the team. Maybe I'll do something with Calaris and Statfest. Maybe we'll do something with the community. But it is hard to plan in deep into the future when you just don't know how the future looks. And I don't like reaching out to the community and asking for stuff if it perhaps is not even needed. So this Monday, it's done by us. And we'll see what the future brings. Reynor went for a very quick spire, guys. Clem obviously so far not too unhappy with his game. Got a little bit of drone damage early on, caused a nice little delay. And does need to be careful. The power of the Muda is not so much in the straight up battle, but it is absolutely in forcing Terrans to take fights that they don't really want to take. Because they can no longer just pick up these units anymore. Clem is already on 3 bases though. And Reynor is very committed. It is going to be very important for Reynor that things go well. Lambo tried to play Mudas on Golden Aura. And unfortunately, right before Lambo wanted to take the fight, he ended up losing all the queens. That does not happen to Reynor, but Reynor is down 6 workers. It's important that we get on top of this. This needs to be a clean fight by Reynor. 1 Mutalisk goes down, 2nd Mutalisk goes down, and Clem is going to try to boost these Marines home. That should not happen. Doors are wide open. Reynor has built a lot of units. He is going to get that medevac, but we need more than just the medevac. Can we get these Marines? I think we can. There is a tank on the high ground. Reynor has built a crazy amount of battle units, so he needs to do great damage here. It's starting to look like we're dealing decent damage. Can we get that high ground tank? Yes, we can. Most of the Zerglings are gone. Can Reynor get the 2nd tank? No, that's not quite possible, but Reynor does take a 20 supply lead. He is, however, still down in workers. Reynor is committed, guys. Needs to keep on finding damage. Up 16 supply is nice. But if nothing great happens for Reynor in the next minute, he'd be in trouble. Reynor's going to go for it here with Zerglings that are 0-0 and a bunch of Mutalists. Feels that he's got enough Mutas to take this fight. Gets a couple of the Marines, gets a tank. It is okay, but is okay good enough against Liquid Clump? Kind of feels like we need Fantastic all the way. Reynor looking for some momentum. Clem got his hands on those 1-1 upgrades now. That Marine count, if it grows, if it gets up high, it is going to be terrifying. Reynor's trying to pull units out of position for maybe some slow banelings to deal damage. Reynor needs to be careful with the Muras. Speed banelings, however, but Clem left a couple units behind. Reynor will still go for it. There is one Widowmine. That Widowmine is going to fire a single baneling. Great target fire on the banelings, though, on the side of Clem. Reynor finds a few SCVs, but not a crazy amount. I don't know if I'm loving it, guys. It looked promising for a split second, but I kind of felt that it was barely good enough for Clem. But Reynor does have his hands on the gold. Clem is nowhere near like a dream spot for the Terror where it comes to sensor towers everywhere and having a crazy amount of vision. So there is still potential for Reynor to find follow-up damage, but it is important that we find that damage whenever we commit units, because economically the game has not been mega hot up to this point. And obviously with Muda Lingbane you kind of want to be dominating, you want to be swarming the map. This is actually a scout that may terrify Clem a little bit, because he sends a Marine forward and he sees a gold base that's up and running and fully saturated. This may scare Clem a little. Now, obviously, the next time that Clem clicks on the Zerglings and the Banelings and he sees that they're still 0-0, that might bring some joy into his life again. Fourth base is close to finishing up. Reynor's mid account is decent. Upgrades are incredibly important in this matchup. And that's why we keep on talking about it. Clem having 1-1, Reynor having 0-0 means it's incredibly difficult for Reynor to find a great fight. Sure, if your Baneling somehow find Dream Connections, you're gonna be okay. But it is hard to get there. But it does seem like this game will just go on for a little while longer. Reynor also fires up Burrow. He's working with 74 drones. He's at least trying to get his upgrades. But by the time Reynor gets 1-1, Clem gets 2-2. And the same story will still hold true. Clem throws down a scan. Obviously, he doesn't really have a good idea how many units Reynor is clearly working with. We see everything. Clem does not. Reynor is going to fly into a Widowmine here, which is a bit painful. Especially because we don't have a nose. Okay, we do have a nose here. Creep spread is making some good progress in the center of the map. Clem leaves units behind to deal with the Mutalisk. Another strong game by Clem. But he ain't there yet. It's looking promising for him, but he's not there yet. Obviously with Muda Ling Bane, there is also a chance that Widowmines deal some friendly fire. Wouldn't be the first time or the last time that Mudas betray, or that Widowmines betray the Terran player. Clem is almost a maxed out Terran now with 2-2 upgrades and against Lair Tech Zerg. That's obviously amazing, right? I think enough of you guys have been around since the days of Fold against Jaedong every single week. Where we always thought Jaedong is winning, right? But no, Fold had 3-3. And 3-3 is incredibly good against Lair Tech Zerg. Reynor hoping for a big Zergling run by, but that ain't happening because Clem's got sensor towers. And this is where the map kind of changes and it's suddenly not that bad anymore for a Terran. Reynor goes for another big Zergling run by, but it seems like Clem raised the depot. Widowmines do deal some friendly fire. Reynor finds some damage with the Zerglings and so far is finding a couple of decent connections with the Banelings, but eventually Reynor is going to have to fight his army. He knows it. The run by is pretty good. Losing the gold obviously sucks. Reynor thinks about jumping on the Marines that are far away from the Thors. Perhaps a tiny mistake there on the side of Clem. Clem's army is still so big. And obviously the Banelings do not want to commit on the Thors. That is not what Banelings are made for. Reynor's got a lot of supplies. Zerglings still kind of doing their thing. Even with an upgrade deficit, these Lings definitely stuck around for a little while. Most of the Widowmines have fired. Reynor's Mutalisk count is high, by the way. We are reaching the point where we can actually just fly into turrets. We can find a couple of Marines. Like, this is the kind of army that I think you can actually turn around and fight for a little bit. The Widowmines are terrifying, and we need to be very, very cautious against the Widowmines. Reynor is about to get his hands on those 2-2 upgrades. And Reynor knows that Clem left a lot of army supply at home right now. So this could be a moment. A lot of low HP by units. Reynor jumps on it without medevac support. Maybe he could have taken that fight there. He does have +2 flyer attacks for the Mudas. As Reynor drops the infestation pit, a lot of Widowmines were left behind. Clem is also carrying a Thor around for some of these big shots. 120 army supply for Reynor, 139 for Clem, but the upgrades are even. Reynor killed one of the eBays, but unfortunately for us and for Reynor, that was the eBay that was going for armor. Obviously, attack would have been better. Those morphing Banelings are kind of blocking our army. Mutalisk once more looking for an opening. Not quite able to find it. I think what Reynor is hoping for is that Clem leaves a lot of army supply at home. And then eventually these Mutas can make it home quickly. And he can take a fight. There's so many Widowmines. So careful, Reynor. Alright. There are 2 more mines on the right side of the orbital. I don't know if Reynor knows that. It's finding pretty good economic damage here. No! Okay, that could have been so much worse. That Widowmine fired at a dead Mutalisk. That could have been so much worse, guys. Whew. Tiny bit of lady luck on our side. Clem's army is humongous. 148 army supply. Reynor is still flying around with those Mutas, hoping to catch some of these Widowmines or just a couple of bio units at a time. Okay, Banelings getting in pretty deep. Clem leaves the Marauders behind to tank, leaves the Thors in the front. A lot of the Marines survive, but Reynor did not go with all the Banelings. He is going to have to cancel that hatchery, and he does. Mutalisk are turning around right now. There are a couple Widow Mines in the back. Banelings going in real deep. There are so many Widow Mines, by the way, here. That is very, very dangerous to just click your Mutas in. Reynor holds, but he does lose that base. He needs to be so cautious with his Mutas, but he is. Nice little piggy bank for Reynor. Hive is close to finishing up. Widow Mine retarget, fortunately does not fire. Clem picks up the Thor for a split second. Reynor finds another decent little trade here. Reynor's playing one hell of a game. Is it good enough? You kind of want to see Adrenal Glands, right, to start believing. Maybe 3-3. Or just that one amazing fight. So far, Reynor's definitely taken a couple of okay-ish fights, and he has done some economic damage. Clem is still rich. That base is not incredibly well protected. The Mutalisk is going to have a field day here. I don't see any Widow Mines. Reynor is cautious, wondering if there are Widow Mines, but they are not. So Clem now sends a lot of units home. Clem does not want to lose that, as he's down to 45 SCVs, guys. Reynor really wants the planetary. Reynor gets the planetary, but there is an orbital right next to it. Still, good economic damage. This base is nothing. It's just a command center. One Widow Mine does fire. One missile turret, not enough. One Thor helping out a little bit. Reynor finding more economic damage. Great mobility, man, by these Mutas. There are a couple of traps, but Reynor has done a 10 out of 10 job in avoiding the worst case scenarios. Leaves a couple of burrowed Banelings behind there as well on the edge of creep. I'm starting to believe, guys. With Adrenal Glands on the way, Hive tech down, Reynor finding economic damage, but I feel like believing against Liquid Clum just causes you to end up as a very sad man. Zerglings do force the orbital to lift up. Reynor turns around with his Mutalisk. He believes that this is a fight he can take. Great hot pickup there by Clem. Saves the Thor for a little while longer. Moves it forward. But Reynor does have some money in the bank. He can rebuild these Mutas. It's not the end of the world. Fantastic micro though on both sides. They have both played incredibly well. Reynor, those Widow Mines were still there. Alright, it could have been worse. Reynor would really love to get that orbital. It is low on HP. No more Widow Mines remaining. That base, by the way, guys, on the right side at 3 o'clock, that is just an orbital now. So Zergling run-bys with +2 melee Adrenal Glands has a lot of potential. Even Clem can't always be everywhere at once. Right? Kind of have to end that sentence with a question mark. Because in the last 31 games, it does seem like the kid is always in the right place. There are some burrowed Banelings there in that little choke point. Reynor doesn't want to use it too early. He's going to take that fight on the top side. Banelings finding decent control. Don't lose all the Mutas at once. It really isn't all that bad. Reynor, oh, Clem throws down a scan. Unfortunately, the burrowed Banelings do not get too much impact. Couple Banelings, though, still on creep in the mix. There are so many Widow Mines left behind. Reynor needs to be cautious. He knows that. Does a pretty good job in avoiding disastrous shots. By the way, Zergling run by on the right side as we had more burrowed Banelings perhaps there in the center. Reynor takes a 50 supply lead. And the last player to beat Clem was Reynor at Oceanborn at the second round of the EWC. And Reynor had to listen to people yapping in his Twitch chat all week long. How are you gonna beat Clem if you're playing League of Legends? And Reynor says, look at me now. Even though we shouldn't celebrate too early because Widow Mines are so scary. A little bit of misfortune. A little bit of Jinx. Sona. Vigar. Who knows? It's good for the soul apparently. I haven't played a game of... Oh, Reynor, please, careful with the Mutas. Oh my god, we lost a lot of Mutalisk. We lost a lot of Mutalisk, but that's okay. We still have so many Mutalisk. Clem down to 35 SCVs. Still has a pretty powerful army. 93 army supply. Never got +3 armor after he lost that eBay early on. Reynor fires up an infester. A lot of people said after EWC that there is only one way to beat Clem. And that is to just match his speed. Playing a slow and methodical game against a kid that is as quick as Clem and takes great fights and has fantastic micro and multitasking is perhaps not the way. Reynor has been complimented many times throughout his career for being one of the fastest players we've ever had. And he's trying to match Clem's speed. Needs to be careful. Does find that Widow Mine. There's a couple of Widow Mines on the left side of that sensor tower. But the orbital dies and the Widow Mines do not fire. Yeah, Reynor maxed out, flies over a couple of Marines. Fortunately, there were a whole bunch of Marauders in the mix. And obviously those Marauders were not that impactful. Non-stop Zergling run-bys. And this is perhaps the power of Zerg on post youth. If you can just get the games chaotic, if you can make them wild, if you can make sure that it doesn't turn into a turtle fest, there is potential for your Zerglings and Banelings. Reynor is close to doing what no one has done for over 30 games, and that is defeat Liquid Clem in an official game of Starcraft 2. But he's not there yet. As long as Clem has 123 army supply, it would be foolish to count him out. What we do know is that Reynor is playing one hell of a game, is looking good economically. It's perhaps 2 or 3 fights away from getting it done. Dragging a Widowmine shot over the Terran army with an Overlord. Hey, we'll take that. 16 additional SCVs apparently went down. I'd love to see how many Widowmines are left out on the map. A couple of these Terran buildings are burning down. A depot, a barracks. Could maybe open the doors for more Zergling run-bys later on. 1700 minerals in the bank as Reynor is once more flying around with an overseer. Clem leans forward in his chair, perhaps feeling that he's running a little out of options. But he does still have a good economy. Clem has money, has income, has a good army. Reynor needs to be so cautious. But he has been pretty damn cautious through. Oh, we're gonna go for those Widow Mines. Reynor snipes them. I wonder what we have in the top left. Clem's supply is increasing though. Clem throws on a scan. Maybe he was worried about some very random burrowed banelings. Supplies are definitely getting a lot closer, but Reynor does, I think, have a lot of potential for more follow-up damage because of all the work that he's put in. Well, Clem obviously very good. I think Reynor can fight this. I know Marines are great and all, guys, but that is so many Mutalisks. There is a moment where 8 Marines are no longer enough to push a bunch of Mutas back. Reynor could maybe burrow a couple Banelings here, flanking Infestor, but Big Daddy Thor is keeping a lot of the Marines safe, but a Widowmine fires on top of the Terran army. Friendly fire once more. Our Widowmine's our best friend. Is that what we need to defeat Clem? Reynor is rich, he's got money in the bank. He's doing good in the fights. He's got 130 army supply. What a drag on that one Zergling after landing a picture-perfect fungal. As we are once more gonna try to take this base. Reynor grabs a random ghost. Burrows a couple of his Banelings on the ramp. I don't know if Clem saw that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. There's obviously a lot to pay attention to, even for a guy like Clem. Sets up more traps, leaves more Widowmines behind, but Reynor has done a very, very good job in avoiding the doom shots. Let's hope it stays like this just a little while longer. Feels that he's almost there as +2 carapace is finishing up for the Mutas. How many Widowmines is that? Ooh, that's a decent amount, but not enough to one-shot everything. So Reynor again gets on top of the orbital. He's going to be able to kill it. Obviously, there's no more resources left in that base, but it's still nice to kill these orbitals because that means the less scans, the less mules. Clem also cannot get any value out of those refineries. I don't know if he really needs that. Not mega high on gas, so perhaps he did. Big army from Clem in the bottom right side, as Clem is the one burrowing a couple Widowmines on this ramp. Reynor goes with half the army. Is forced to cancel this base, but he has the top left. He has both bases in the top left side. Finds the Widowmines in the center. Kills the first 2. He's going to be able to pick off the third one as well. Now rotates back. Needs to be careful, by the way. Liberators also have splash damage. Combination of Liberators, Thors, and Widowmines. It still scares me. Reynor is looking incredibly good here in game 1, 24 minutes in. But there is still a world where his entire army gets one-shotted. Burrowed Banelings on the ramp. Observer misses it. But I didn't. Reynor lands a pretty good Burrowed Baneling hit. Clem looks a little bit sad. Turns around immediately. Great job there with those Burrowed Banes. Well done, Reynor. Got a solid 12 Marines there or so. Has set up another trap with Burrowed Banelings at the ramp at the bottom side as well. Clem is going to try to create a tiny bit of chaos himself by going for some Widowmines. Reynor forgot about his Mutalisk. Okay, kind of painful, but not the worst thing that I've ever seen. A few of the Banelings think about turning around and fighting this Terran army. Does not quite work. Maybe Reynor could burrow a few more here. I think he does still have those Burrowed Banelings on the ramp. Obviously not being able to get his hands on the triangle base sucks, but As long as Reynor is mining from all these bases in the top left, Reynor can fight this. Come on, we can fight this. I know Marines are good and all, guys, but surprised we didn't want to take that fight. Clem throws down a scan. He's like, you already got me once with that in the top left side. That's not going to happen again. Excellent spidey senses. Reynor his Mudas. Rotate back into the main base. Get on top of a missile turret. There are some snipes. Reynor turns around this time. This is way more, but Zerglings are going to show up as well, and that is going to turn this into an amazing fight for Reynor. Zerglings and Mudalisk fighting. A couple of Marines, Ghost and Widowmines, and that is going to force Clem all the way home. Reynor is going to try to intercept this army, flanking it from the left side with a bunch of Banes, but a little too much firepower. Getting on top of the production, though, is nice. It's going to make it a lot harder for Clem to keep on rebuilding all these units. Can we snipe a Ghost Academy? I know Ghost Academy has like 2700 HP, but I do believe with our entire army we can take it out. Perhaps another barracks somewhere. Few Zerglings are going to burrow. Reynor thinks that is a very big Widowmine shot, but there isn't a whole lot left. There is one tank, a couple of Marines, and a few Widowmines. Reynor is here with all of his Zerglings and Banelings as he's going to get on top of this base too. That is already 20 SCVs falling. Mudalisk in the main base. It is a heroic effort by the Italian Stallion. This is what it takes to snap the streak. A memorable game. A memorable couple of weeks in StarCraft 2. Very rarely have we seen a man win this many games. There are burrowed Banelings everywhere. If Clem moves to the bottom... Oh! To the right, Clem! The streak. Will it end as Reynor eats a humongous Widowmine shot there. A little bit tilted. Clem almost went over. Reynor is moving his changelings to the right side. Where he's like, hey Clem, if I were you, I'd chase them. Clem not taking that bait. Reynor wants to go back into the main base. One Widowmine shot is decent, but I still think this is more than enough. Lings and Mudas. One medevac dies. All these other medevacs are in trouble. Clem is dipping to double-digit supply. The streak is over. Reynor was the last man to defeat Clem in an official game of StarCraft 2. Reynor is the first guy to do it all over again. At this point, I am confident. Let the boy play some League if that makes him happy. If that brings out the best in him. Let this be a lesson to all the obnoxious Twitch chatters out there. Reynor has played probably 100,000 games of StarCraft or more. He doesn't need to play 7 hours of StarCraft right now to bring his A game. It was beautiful. One final burrowed Baneling hit. Are we gonna close this out? Install, mic drop, burrowed Banelings. Clem is like, how many more are there? Reynor's like, a few more. 27 minutes, guys. Bam! That will do it. Clem knows it. It is over. The streak has ended. And the greatest news to all of us StarCraft 2 fans is we're gonna see them dance all over again in the next game. Because Clem obviously just loses a map. That doesn't mean that he's down, is out. Team Liquid is not out, they're still ahead. We are going to see the rematch. Clem is forced to tap out. Reynor, yes. Reynor does it. He was the last guy to do it. And he's the first guy to do it. What a man. The Italian Stallion peaks when we need him the most. So let's go. What a streak it was. One hell of a streak. One hell of a game. A heroic effort. It was post-youth. And it was still incredibly hard. But hey, we'll take it, guys. We will take it. A beautiful game. Man. Takes one 22-year-old to take out the other 22-year-old, eh? Obviously, guys, this Clem War is far from over and Team Liquid is still ahead. And Clem is still in this best of 2, but I know a lot of people were wondering, are we ever going to see this kid lose a game again? Apparently, guys, we will. That streak started. I mean, it was even a little bit before that, right? This one went to distance. Clem won game 5. A 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 1-0. And a 2-0 today over Showtime. But it ended here. It was Reynor, and it is Reynor. Who at least gets a point on the board. Our boy speaking, he's smiling, he's vibing. And now, guys, we might actually get to see. Like, I don't know. I am just speculating alongside with you guys. Clem's like, man, I forgot what this felt like. Oh, Clem, it's okay, mate. Clem, you won 450,000 buckies, mate. You've been destroying everybody left, right, and center. 27 people have uninstalled since you keep on destroying them. It's okay. You're one of us, mate. It's fine to lose a mappy. It's alright. Life's pretty good, kid. Life is pretty good. So now Clem, what I want to say, is able to pick one of his maps. Now he cannot pick Ghost River, because we as a team, Basilisk, have vetoed Ghost River. So he could pick Crimson Court, he could pick Oceanborn if he likes that. I don't know, some Terrans do, some Terrans don't. He could also go... Side Delta would probably be a bit of a stretch. There was a day and age the Terran players really like Side Delta, but... Crimson Court is most likely. Small chance he goes Dynasty, but I feel like Clem just doesn't like Dynasty, so I think Crimson Court is most likely. And it is going to be Crimson Court. Now, what I wanted to say, guys, is that Reynor obviously prepared a lot of strategies for the EWC, and he was not able to showcase all of them because he didn't get to play too many top tier Terrans. He played Cure in the opening round, won 3-2, relatively standard. We did see something special against Clem on Ghost River. Perhaps he's got something special again on Crimson Court. I don't know. It was Hero who stopped Reynor. Not once, but twice over the EWC. Reynor's got that look on his face that, like, A, he's happy, and a happy Reynor is dangerous. And B, maybe he's got something cheeky, guys. What happens if Clem wins? So if Clem wins, we are forced to revive a player. Then we can revive Skillless. Excuse me, we can revive Showtime, Reynor, Serral, or Trigger. Or me, obviously, but that would be stupid. Well, actually, it needs to be one of the 3 guys that has played, I believe. No, not you, Nikita. You wish, mate. So if Clem wins, we both lose a life. Team Liquid would be down to 2 lives. We'd be down to our final life. And then we enter the revive match. In that revive match, we would be forced to win 2-0. If we don't win 2-0, it would be all over. You wish you had Clem in your team? I'm happy with my boy. I mean, I'm not gonna knock Clem. I will never say anything bad about Clem. Kid is amazing. He's a sweetheart and he's so freaking good. Nothing but love and praise. But hey, today, for a couple hours, we are frenemies. Bottom left side. I apologize. Bottom left side, guys, of Crimson Court. We are looking at the main base of the man who stopped the streak. Showed us that anything is possible. If you're him. It's BASILISK Reynor, the Italian stallion. Against this man in the top right side, who is obviously having an absolutely fantastic run already in the playoffs. Even if he would lose every single game from here on out, which is highly unlikely, but even if that would be the case, Clem has been amazing for Team Liquid, has been amazing in the playoffs, and was beyond fantastic at the Esports World Cup. And he just got familiar again with the taste of defeat. It's been a little while. Nobody can win them all, guys. Serral was not able to win them all in 2018. And Clem is also not able to win them all in 2024. I'm gonna assume that's a typo, best boy. But you're missing a P there, mate. And that P in your sentence is very important. Because with 1 P it becomes a problematic message. But with 2 Ps, I understand what you mean. Reynor is indeed vibing. Reynor already said to me a couple of weeks ago, he's like, man, I feel like maybe I'm taking things too serious. He's like, I should go back to like Happy Reynor, you know, blast some Italian rap music and just be vibing, some Kid Cudi. He's like, oh, this over serious stuff where I close myself off from the world and hyper focus. He's like, that doesn't bring out the best in me. He's like, I just want to be me. I just want to have fun. It wasn't 211 Psycho. Yeah, I know Best Boy. He's been very nice. He is someone from the WTL community. He is watching the Chinese broadcast and he gives us some important updates whenever there is one that we are not aware of. So, no. He meant it different. Alright. So, Reynor had one good map for him. Don't forget, by the way, that it did start off with Reynor losing a drone. What a game, by the way, man. Starcraft 2 is in such an amazing place. Like, Starcraft is so brutal and it's played at such an exceptionally high level that a lot of the games, I understand that you guys say like, it's a bit boring to just see this or that and, you know, I already know what's going to happen. But when you have 2 guys that really go at it toe for toe, blow for blow. It's just amazing. And Reynor is the one that can match the speed of Clem. There's absolutely no guarantee that Reynor is going to be able to do that over and over again. But these two are both so freaking good. That is a mega quick lair, by the way, guys, by Reynor. What is Reynor cooking here on Crimson Court? An incredibly quick lair. Could be Mudalisk once more. Could be something else too. We think back of Ghost River. Zergling drop with a couple of Dropper Lords and Queens. Max Pax I think is incredibly quick too. I actually think Max is very, very quick. And that is what sets him apart. As Zergling's speed finishes up, Reynor gets the Reaper. That's nice. Getting his Reaper early on. I would almost say a tiny bit uncharacteristic of Clem to lose his Reaper. There comes Overlord speed, guys. Overlord speed gets fired up. I'm sure that Clem did not forget about that game on Ghost River. Now, there was one crucial thing that I believe really helped in making that work for Reynor. And that is that the Hellions of Clem were out and about on the map. It could also just be a tiny Zergling dropped right, but Reynor is obviously pretty damn committed. On that Ghost River game, Clem and his Hellions were out and about on the map, so they got surrounded by some of the links, because Reynor did not drop everything. He also had a lot of reinforcements on the ground. It could be slightly different. No, 3 Overlords. It is very similar to our Ghost River build. Clem obviously does not know. Reynor cannot reveal these Overlords too quickly, by the way, because if he reveals the Overlords, if Clem gets a bunker in the main, Reynor is in all sorts of trouble. If Clem does not get a bunker up in time, there is a world. Clem sees it right now with the Hellions. Reynor, I want to say, should have been aware of it. Can the Zerglings, by the way? Oh, get there in time. Depot is not raised yet. Reynor grabs 2 of the Hellions on the low ground. Reynor grabs 2 of the Hellions on the low ground. Bunker is being built. 2 bunkers at once. The extra Zerglings that were out and about on the map, they do show up. And Reynor does not quite get the perfect wraparound. Obviously, we were hoping for a tiny bit more, but he still is causing chaos. 1 bunker is going to finish up. Queens are here. Banshee Cloak not done yet. Zergling drop in the main base. Reynor's going to do crazy damage here, but we need to do crazy damage. Queen transfuse, mega important. First transfuse goes down. Zerglings in the main. Zerglings in the natural. Clem takes his hands off the keyboard. It has happened. Reynor 2-0 Clem. The kid is so back. He's never been more back. And once more, let that boy play some League if he wants to, okay. He knows what's good for him. He knows when to pick. I love seeing that smile. I love seeing Reynor happy. It's been a very tough year for him. And not a lot of things going his way in competitive Starcraft. And what an amazing moment to bring it here in the WTL Code as finals. Reynor 2, Clem 0. And we're all tied up. Right now, the Clem war is completely even. Reynor 2. Clem 0. Basilisk 2 points. Reynor 0. Basilisk 2 points. Reynor. Whew. Wow. You guys, by the way, I've got some diehard Reynor fans out there. What? Man, I am surprised by this outcome. 38% of y'all believe that Reynor was going to 2-0. And he delivered like that. Believe us, guys. You guys are big. That is one hell of a prediction. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. So that means, guys, once more, we are all tied up between Team Liquid and Basilisk. Team Liquid right now is going to send in their 3rd player. Obviously, our 3rd player is Reynor. Reynor stays on. They can choose between 3 options. They can go with Mana, they can go with Skillless, they can go with Elaser. But Elaser is, I believe, head deep in a Stormgate tournament at the moment. Mana is very good in Starcraft, but he's still the manager. It makes most sense for it to be Skillless. I think we can kind of start that prediction. I think you guys will agree with that. Unless Mana really has been cooking something up. This is going to be a long day. Can they revive Clem? They absolutely can, but first all 3 players need to play. Ah, well, what a best of 2. What a first game. What a second game. Lucifron and Vortex in the Stormgate tournament. I love Lucy and Vortex. I was actually... I'd really like to do more with them. Because I feel like those two Spanish guys, they're such legends. And I still feel that outside of like Spanish-speaking communities, they don't really get the love and props they deserve. I think they are amazing. We are looking at Skillers, guys, so I'm going to start a prediction. Most of the time when they zoom in on Skillers, it is going to be Skillers. Skillers. Reynor versus Skillers. Opening map is Oceanborn, if I recall that correctly. I'll give you guys 10 minutes because it's PvZ. And you guys are going to watch Oracles and Adepts fly around for a little while. If Reynor 2-0 Skillers, that would mean that Reynor stays on, and then Team Liquid is going to revive a player. I think we all expect that player is going to be Liquid Clem. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Starcraft left to be played, guys. Obviously, Liquid was off to a great start. They took the lead, and now we get a massive victory on the board. And we also maybe give everybody else out there the belief that it's still possible. I think it's almost silly to plan too many series in advance from here on out. It's an epic battle between two of the most awesome orcs in the StarCraft 2 scene. And let's just lean back and enjoy the ride. We are once more taking a look at Skillers. Guys, I'm going to take a very tiny break myself. And after that, I'll be back. Is Skillers a good player? Yes. Everybody on Team Liquid is a really good player. Honestly, Nazgul is still a very good player. He'd probably beat me, man. You guys remember when he beat Idra at MLG? No, that's a blast from the past. Alright, I'll take a tiny break and I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the opening moments of Reynor and Skillers. Oh, what an awesome day. I just love that it's hype, you know. I don't like the negativity. Oh, boring, Clem wins everything. I just love that you guys are hyped. I'm hyped. I think everybody that's watching this, whether it's the Chinese fans or the English audience, I think everybody's having a good time. I'll be right back, guys. Couple minutes.